Welcome to Wrestling Brothers Breakdown. This is a new show, and it is about wrestling, and me and Brad are brothers. We are your hosts, and we are going to talk about, break down all the latest wrestling fun stuff that we want to talk about, because we like wrestling. So, welcome, Brad.
Brothers.
All right, so what are we going to do on this show? We're going to talk about, probably just to start off with for fun, just reviewing the most recent pay-per-views and premium live events.
Let's do it.
Just the pay-per-views. So, mostly we're probably going to stick to WWE and AEW. We don't have time to watch all the other stuff like GCW, CMLL, MLW.
Shout out to the Howlets. Coming back, baby.
Oh, yeah. The local wrestling. So, all right. So, today was Money in the Bank. We are recording at 11:11 p.m. Central. We just finished watching the show about 9:15. And so we will go over some of our thoughts. And first we'll go over our predictions. And we recorded this beforehand just in case. So I'm going to switch to that. And here's our predictions. All right, let's get to our predictions for the Money in the Bank show, episode. What do you call it?
Let's do it.
What do they call them? Premium live events. That's their stupid new word for it. Not pay-per-views.
In Canada.
It's in Canada. Oh, they're in Toronto. That's right. All right. So the first match is World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest versus Seth freaking Rollins. I think they didn't open us. They went in a different order than had on this website. Judgment Day is kind of falling apart.
I'm going to have to disagree with you here. I think
the first disagreement, and I was right.
I think it's not time to split.
I was wrong.
Yet,
yes.
But it will be soon, and this match will be affected by one of my other picks later in the show.
That's what I'm wondering. Do you think they'll have...
We'll talk about the cash-in later. Like, good grief.
Do the same thing they just did at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I don't know. Brad's bold take that I was going to do for today, so thanks a lot for ruining it for me.
My question is Seth healed up good enough to come back and be the... I liked him when he was champ, fighting week after week. He was a little rusty, but is he healed up? Has it been... He won. I don't know. Damien didn't kick out at the 3 count. If it has been, then yeah, they'll give it to him. If they're going to do some silly swerves, they might.
I showed the kids that, and they're just
I'm
like...
pick Seth for now.
What happened? I was like...
All right, I don't know if this is
a
botch. No, that was the mess up.
It was
this
bad.
WWE guys versus Bloodline.
Cody, Randy, and Kevin.
I think the Bloodline's going to win via cheating.
Yeah.
They got nothing.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I don't know why my screen...
I got that one right.
That's weird.
They need to build up this new version of the Bloodline. I haven't been watching enough to see if I like all these new people.
We'll get to Solo. I just don't like him.
But
yeah.
They need to make them look strong if they're going to be big bad guys, so they need to cheat to win or win.
I miss Roman. Didn't think I'd say that.
There's nothing for them to gain by losing, so I think they'll...
Plus, I think Solo's going to pin Cody. That way they can have him fight at SummerSlam coming up. So
you did call that?
Cody.
That'd be interesting. They need to have him defend more than just at the pay-per-views. Maybe like not every week, but once in a while.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on that Cody heel turn, but we're not ready for it yet.
Yeah, that'll be.
The Cody heel turn, not yet.
I think. All right, the men's Money in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I like a good ladder match. I think this one's going to go to Drew, though. I thought LA Knight for a minute, but I think Drew's got the most momentum right now and the biggest story. Yeah. Whether they screw him over or not is like the crowd. But yeet. Yeah, I think they'll give it to Drew.
Yeah, I agree. That was my Brad's bold take. I was going to say Drew wins and cashes in successfully tonight.
Brad's
bold take was wrong.
And then
I give us both a point for calling Drew the winner, but
that's Brad's bold take for
your bold bonus take of
women's Money in the Bank. Drew's going to get his revenge.
Positive cash in.
It's going to be great.
Zoe Stark is she from NXT recently?
Yeah, I think so. I'm going with Tiffany Stratton on this one.
That's my pick as well. All right, we both got that one right. She's got momentum. She's got the look. She's got the popularity. You're 4 for 4. I'm 3 for 4.
Yeah.
She's not ugly. We'll have to keep track of these long term. Let her win it.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be an interesting one.
What else?
Hopefully that's a good
one. Oh, this is where we split.
And we both Intercontinental Champion. Sami Zayn
we both
Braun
went.
Breaker.
I was split. I was torn to think about.
I want to go Canada's own, but I think it's Braun time. He's like,
I was thinking the right thing. Just
keep saying the next
couldn't pull it.
Brock Lesnar kind of look alike. They're building him up like that because he
good old
destroys
Sammy.
everybody. So as much as I want to go with Canada's own, I got to go with Braun. I think it's time to switch.
I bet against Canada.
Yep, I think, yeah, I would agree. I like Sammy a lot. I think he does better during the chase and the build-up for months, whether it be the tag teams. All right, so or I'm going to go ahead and pause that here, and we'll take that down. We'll switch back to this, so no need. We'll post that video later so you can get all of the full predictions on it.
Hey, I questioned who was going to return. We just never gave an answer. So.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk about it. I know why it's 6 stuff.
Yeah. All right, so on the predictions, you were 4 for 5, and I was 3 for 5. So we will find somewhere to keep track of that. And
not too shabby.
So I don't know if we'll come up with a title for that or something. The reigning, defending pay-per-view picker winner.
Best picker.
All right. So Money in the Bank pay-per-view, Toronto, Canada. Started at 6 p.m. our time. It's kind of early.
Ended at 9:19.
That was so weird.
The recap video.
I was looking at some stuff on Twitter a little bit later, and I think they had Drew do a big run-in and yell and punch and have a big fit. And then there was also John Cena gave out a whole lot more info at the press conference. So I think they're trying to rope people into watching the press conference as part of like that 4-hour thing.
Wait, maybe. Drew did something afterwards at the press conference?
Yeah, well, they were doing their little... It wasn't at the press conference. It was at their like little post-show WWE personalities where they talk and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah,
I can watch that.
Yeah. I saw some highlights on Twitter. We watched the show. There's 5 matches, so we'll just go through them and we'll rate them, and then we'll rate the pay-per-view as a whole. The first one was the men's Money in the Bank. So what did you think of this match?
Well, we got a 10-minute Jey Uso introduction.
Yeah,
everybody else got like 1 or 2.
That was a long entrance.
So I was just like, oh my gosh. And I was kind of, honestly, I kind of enjoy Pat McAfee. I was waiting, he wasn't there. So I was Cole, Michael Cole went a little crazy, but the way Pat McAfee does it, man, I just love that.
Does he do all the pay-per-views or only the big ones?
I haven't
watched any since WrestleMania.
What they do.
I know watched
he had like a family emergency one time. It was not too long ago, so he missed a Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or whatever. I can't remember. Overall, I mean, it was a pretty decent, solid match. My ranking out of 5, I do decimal points because I'm weird like that. I did 3.75 out of 5 as my highest ranked match of the night. Some good spots.
Interesting.
I loved that Chad Gable was doing his submission stuff on the ladder. That was pretty cool. I thought you don't see a lot of that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Chad Gable at all, but I have here in my notes that when he had some good spots and some when he German suplexed the ladder onto the other guy, I thought that was funny. And then I wrote down Andrade took some shots. His back looked like it was beat up. Like I don't know if he hit the ropes or the ladder, but it looked like he's gonna be hurting for a couple days.
Yeah. The Carmelo Hayes when he just jumped up, the freak athleticism and just slapped the dude in the back. That was
funny.
It's hilarious. I was like,
and then I thought at the very end when Drew just threw the ladder at the guy's face at the top of the ladder, that was funny. I hadn't really seen that before in a ladder match. So
yes, I always expect that or want that more. It's just
I love a good ladder match. So I ranked it 4 stars, and my scale I don't do decimals or points or halves. I just do, and this is the same as my movie review scale. It's 5 is great, 4 is good, 3 is okay, 2 is meh, and 1 is bad. So I gave it 4 stars because I thought it was good.
Yeah.
All right.
Although we didn't really see any, and we'll talk about in the women's match, you didn't see any big, huge spots.
No, that was surprising. The biggest spot of the night was in the women's match. So they had the one sunset flip powerbomb, which I incorrectly called Canadian Destroyer on the ladder, but close enough. Very similar move. So yeah, that was that one.
Yep.
So, and then we knew Drew had already called, hey, I'm going to come out and cash this in later on the same night. So I don't know if that was kind of cool and, hey, I'm a badass because I called my spot, or if it's just, well, I guess we'll talk about it later. But yeah, they just wanted to get it done and over with for the year and off the creative playbook.
You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. All right. The next up was the Intercontinental Champion match between
Canada's own
Canada's own Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. We both called this one wrong. We both thought that the way they've been building Braun is that they're going to just have him destroy Sami. I said probably not a squash match, but they're going to have him beat him up pretty good and then let Braun have some gold to keep building him up. And I was wrong.
Hey, we both were. But Breaker looked really good. Like his, what was that? He jumped and did like a hip check and threw his hip into him. And then the Hurricane Rana off the top rope where he just stood there. Like,
that was a good
freaky athleticism right there. That's just amazing for someone like him to be able to move like that. You're just like, wow. You don't see that a lot from the big guys. And that's just really cool.
Yep. I wrote down, I thought he had some okay moves. Those were the two ones that I remember. But I didn't think they made him look overly strong. Like he didn't destroy Sami, and Sami held his own. His comeback was a little short, but he did fine with it. And then they let Sami win for, I don't know if his hometown is Toronto, but Canada, whatever. So yeah. I only gave this one 2 stars. I said, man, I think this was my lowest ranked one of the night. Yep.
I did 2.75, second lowest, but we'll get into the other one why, because some things that I wasn't expecting, but overall with the pay-per-view. But yeah, I thought Breaker looked really good. I'm sure he'll get a title eventually soon. And you were right on the pre-show where we're making our picks. I think Sami does better as the underdog when he's chasing a title. Like, not that he can't still, play that underdog role and get with the crowd like he usually does, because he does a great job with that. But
yeah, and I think he's doing okay so far with what they've given him on his run as champion, and hopefully it'll keep going and give him a good long run. But yeah, so far in the last couple years of WrestleManias, I think he's done good as the build up and the chase. It's been more exciting. It's we want our hero to win type story.
Yeah,
and people really pop for that. Next up on the show was
Not a match.
Oh, well, before we get to that, Trish was talking about something, Trish Stratus, and the only thing I wrote down was, I think Trish is boring and awkward on the microphone. She's a Hall of Famer, and she was great back in the day. I just wasn't impressed with her mic work tonight. She just seemed a little forced, a little awkward. Wasn't super Canada. Smooth, but maybe, yeah, she's from Canada, so they were hyping that up, so.
Yeah, I would agree.
I don't hate. It was just a little awkward. So the next big thing was, you called it, John Cena return. So
can't see me.
Yeah, he came out and then pulled out his little "this is my last time" towel, and then went on to long-winded announce his retirement. So we both booed.
Next WrestleMania.
No, it's not correct. So I did not watch the whole press conference afterwards, but I saw the highlights on Twitter. He wants to work 30 to 40 or 50 dates in 2025, and he wants to work from January to December. So he was saying that would be his last WrestleMania and his last Rumble and all that stuff. But if he can stay healthy and all that fun stuff, and he's open to a title shot, he's open to whatever, but he wants to do basically one last year, and then he's gonna. Said he wants to stay in the WWE as some other type of whatever. So that's what I saw on Twitter. I didn't get to go back and watch it yet. So
a farewell tour. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch that.
And so he gave a big, long, nice, happy speech. He pandered a little bit to the Canadians, but Money in the Bank. But at least it's a year out, so I kind of like that. Kind of the same way with Sting. He's like, hey, I'm going to do it at this date, and there's 4 to 8, 6, 9, 10 months, whatever. I did find it quite funny that there was already merch for it, and he was wearing the shirt. Merch. While we were watching the show, I was on Twitter, and like within 30 seconds, WWE had posted links to the merch. You could get the John Cena retirement tour hat, shirt, wristbands, sweatbands. Yeah. So I thought that was funny.
We'll have to do a thing, like figure out some matches for him, like who he wants to go for,
Yeah. We can do some fantasy booking sometime on some future episodes.
It'll be all over Peacock. Like they already have the thing with John Cena's greatest matches. You can watch them all. So now it's going to be like even more stuff for them. So
they can add in more for sure.
But
All
I
right.
don't know.
The next,
It'll be weird to not have John Cena around, so
it
it'll
is.
be interesting.
How old is he? 43, 44?
Something like that.
So, but props to him for picking a time and going out on his own terms versus got hurt or
Yeah.
got too broke and just kept doing it,
Yeah.
a la Ric Flair. All right. The next matchup was a
Oh,
World Heavyweight Championship. They have too many
Yep.
too many belts. We can talk about that some other time. Too many belts. Seth Rollins versus Damian Priest.
Seth freaking Rollins.
Seth freaking Rollins. That's an annoying rebrand, but whatever. I like Seth. I'm glad that he's back and healthy.
He's a fighting champion.
I still like Seth's music in his intro. I think it's cool.
Oh yeah. This was my lowest rated match because I thought the match was okay overall. I called the McIntyre cash in, but I honestly was thinking, hey, they're going to right the wrong. The storytelling, Priest got him before, so now he gets Priest back. And I was so almost close. And then CM Punk.
They
So
swerved
get
you.
to that. And I know they better have a banger of a match whenever, like a Hell in a Cell or whatever. Like they're going to beat the snot out of each other, I
Oh,
think.
they did announce the Bad Blood. So,
Ooh, it could be, but that's still, what, 2, 3 months away?
yeah. Well, they've got two storylines building now. So they've got Drew versus Damian
Mm-hmm.
because he wants to get his championship back. And then they've also got the Drew versus CM Punk feud building.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were going to talk about the ending, the Botchamania highlight.
The superplex off the top rope, then the kick, a reverse and reverse and reverse, and whatever, I forgot Seth's move, what it's called.
Falcon's Arrow.
Yeah, Falcon's Arrow, and then 1, 2, who?
Oh yeah, the ref did 1, 2, 2. Ooh, I just bashed the microphone. Yeah, the ref
And
counted
then-
2 and said 2, and Damien did not move, did
He
not
was like-
kick out at all, just laid there.
Uh-oh.
So
And then the house lights came on or whatever. And
yeah,
that
the
was-
house lights started to come on, so we're like, oh, did they call it? Did the production people think the match is over?
Ruh-roh.
And then I read some internet theories that maybe he got concussed, or maybe he didn't, was just kind of loopy and didn't kick out, or they thought Drew's
go,
music
go,
was
go.
supposed to break the kick out, and if that
Yeah.
was the case, it didn't happen. And so
Samantha called a triple threat.
yeah, and then they got Samantha on the microphone real fast and said, Drew is cashing in. And so now this is a triple threat. And we're like, is it a triple threat? Or did Seth win and they're going to fix what the ref messed up? Are they going to retcon it? And like, no, I guess they're just going with what happened. And
Is
so
that part of the story?
is that part of the story? Yeah, it looked
Monday?
bad. I think I knew they were supposed to do that. And I think just one or two things missed by a few seconds. And Seth played the angry part well. I mean, the best you can do is you got to roll with the work, the shoot,
Yeah.
whatever. And so it looked bad, and everyone's just like, huh? But
Made me question why have the pay-per-view if you're just gonna botch it later and not do it right. And
yeah, and we were talking about that while we were watching. I was like, how long has been Money in the Bank been around? 10,
Yeah.
12, 13, 14 years now? I mean, it's kind of a thing to say you want it and cash it in, but it's also kind of a little bit cliche, and people either cash it in and win it all, and it's just a cheesy win, or like a cheap transitional champion type thing.
yeah,
Or is it like last year and Damien held on to it and messed up his cash ins like 37 times throughout the whole year, and we were just over it. And so I think creatively they're over it and just wanted to get it off the creative map for the next year. And they're like, hey, we did it and now it's over and let's move on and just kind of forget about it. And I bet you within 7 to 10 days, the women's one will be over as well. Already cashed in.
yeah. We'll see Monday maybe.
So
It's TIFF time. Oh, that brings us to our next match.
yeah, I do like that the pay-per-views are on Saturdays rather than Sunday nights. I like that a
Yeah.
lot.
A little bit easier.
All right, like you said, it's Tiffy time. The women's Money in the Bank match. So, this match had quite a few people that both of us were just like, who are they? Are they from NXT? I don't have time to watch NXT and can't keep track of all the call-ups and who's who. And
Yeah, Valkyrie or I didn't know who that was.
I never heard of her, yeah.
And
I'd heard the name Zoe Starks, but didn't
yeah,
never seen her before. Didn't know the name to the face. I liked her blue pants outfit. I thought that looked cool.
the face paint though, it's like,
That was a little weird, but
yeah,
so the first
this
half of
match,
this match had quite a few misses, botches, just
yeah.
awkwardness. Some hey, we're gonna miss punches. Zoe did a flip off the ropes to the ladder and hit her head.
Chelsea was it Chelsea Green's
Yep.
thing where with Naomi where she like jumped and just hit the ladder and then Naomi just went and then
Oh yeah, that was a terrible looking move. Actually, like I'm gonna do like a stunner looking thing. Even the setup looked really awkward. Like, hey, follow me over here, and I'm going to turn you around. And then she dropped
and
to her butt, and then like, hopefully
dude,
you fall on your face. So that one looked bad, but she made up for that later at the end.
yeah, that big bump.
She had the biggest bump of the night on the, and they kind of played her fear of heights off well, even though it was kind of cheesy,
It was a little cheesy at the beginning. It's like,
but it fit. They made it
okay,
fit, and then they gave her the biggest bump of the night, the big ladder fall to the two tables on the outside. So
yep.
I love a good ladder table spot like that, and glad that it looked like she took it well and landed it good, and
And
probably
Zoe did that. That's that one arm like I don't want to say power bomb, but one arm like slam
looked
on.
like a rock bottom almost kind of.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So
That
she
was
didn't do too bad.
that was a good one. Who was it? Somebody went to do like an elbow and missed the person and hit the ladder. I don't remember who it was.
Was that
I think
Tiffany?
it was Chelsea, or it looked painful. Whoever did
Yeah,
it.
they like completely missed. Like maybe it was Valkyrie. I don't remember, but yeah, it was. This was a pretty good match. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. So it was my second highest rated one. It was
I gave it a
enjoyable.
4. It turned around. The first half of it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is not good, and then it got a lot better. So I gave it 4 stars and ranked it as good. So it tied the men's.
Commentary made it sound like it was like the greatest thing ever, but
I do
I
like
don't know.
Corey Graves. He cracks me up.
So, but yeah, overall it was pretty good. It seemed a little slow and just I thought the right person won, and then the interview after where she Tiffany interrupted Trish Stratus and that other gal. Um, that was kind of funny. So
That was yep.
she's like, "It's tip time."
Yeah, that's one of her things. So I think she's entertaining. I think she's got a big future. I see
Yeah.
her going places. So all right, then finally the last match of the night was the Bloodline versus Kevin Owens, Randy Orton,
Acknowledge me,
and who was the other guy?
Cody.
Oh, Cody.
Duh,
Yeah,
you're
duh,
champ. Come on now.
the champ. So, uh, I don't know why this was on as the main event, even though it was just a bunch of big names. I think they're really trying hard to build this new bloodline. I'm
Mhm.
not a fan. The Toronto crowd was definitely not a fan, especially of Solo Sikoa. They
Oh
let him
yes.
know many times. Anytime he was in the ring, he was getting some "fu" chants, and as like you spoke out, he was doing some just terrible punches.
In the corner, like the camera angle was bad. It's like, dude, you're not even getting close. Like, come on, man. Just come on, man. So it was your classic 6-man tag match. Good guys start out hot, then they get walloped for a while, and then there's a hot tag, and then the tide turns, and then the bad guys cheat, and then the bad guys win.
Yep.
So as I said, imagine that a ref gets hurt in a bloodline match.
Right. Who did
So,
the big back body drop into the ring? Oh, into the ring doctor. That was good. I liked that move.
oh, it was that
It
was
was
that
good.
Jacob Fatu or Fat, not Fato. Learn how to spell.
You're canceled.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
He
was good. He ran and hit got thrown over the ring and with a little jumping assistance, but then he hit the ring dock. So
he came out with a lot of fire and energy. Like it was,
he has potential. So we'll see how
yeah.
it goes. I don't know if they're trying to make him the enforcer now for Solo. Solo needs a lot of work if he's going to be the leader. He needs help on the mic. He needs
Oh yeah,
help in the ring. But Roman was that way for a long time too, and then
yeah,
somehow, eventually, everyone just accepted that now he's impossible to beat. So, who knows?
yeah. Well, And I liked KO's energy. Like he was out there fighting. He was
I like
just
Kevin Owens. He needs another big title run like he had 5, 6 years ago. He deserves it.
yeah.
He can do it,
It's been a while.
and he's always good. And I think they've held him back since he's just not the super GI Joe muscular guy, but he can
Yeah.
go all day in the ring and cardio. So, and he's good on the mic. I like him.
I love that Solo tried to win with a spear, just to tick off, the true head of the table, Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Well, we have to bring up they tried to low blow and he like poked him in the butt.
Yeah. How do you botch a low blow? Like he got come up behind him, and then they were walking, and he was like, "Meh," and just totally missed, and it looked awkward, and then he had to redo it because he's like, "I don't think it hit me. I can't act like that hurt because it didn't hurt."
Yeah, like what's going on? Like, dude, you're supposed to no, like, come on, man.
Cody and Randy were both not in the match very much. I think Kevin Owens carried the majority of the match for the good guys.
Yeah, they probably just went with he's got the energy in the crowd and he's one of Canadia's own. So
Yeah, I don't like that Cody ate the pin, but whatever.
yeah, like I said, I think they're trying to build that up for SummerSlam, like because we already know Damian Priest is facing Gunter.
I'm not interested in that match. I'm
Have
not
a
interested in
a chest slapping competition.
yeah, I'm not interested in Cody versus Solo either, but I'm sure it'll happen at some point.
It's got to. I mean, it's kind of like the next step, but who knows? So, what do you think overall of the pay-per-view?
Oh well, that match. Before that, I gave that match just 3 stars. It was just okay. It was
Yeah, I did 3 out of
it
5.
was a little long, but yeah, I gave it 3 out of 5 for okay. For the pay-per-view overall, I rank it just okay, 3 stars. I thought it was okay. It was entertaining. Um, I sometimes like that there's only like 4 or 5 matches now, but if they're going to be longer, I don't need 25-minute intros. I appreciated that when it was Undertaker, but
Yeah,
let him have that, and then
10 minutes of yeeting, yeet, yeet, yeet.
so what did you think of it?
I did because I like to do my weird decimal ones. I did like 3.25, so it was a little bit above average. But yeah, 3.25 out of 5. It was okay. It was weird ending time. It just
That was weird. I guess that would
some
be kind of a swerve, so you're expecting more time. Like, oh, they've got time to do something else or some crazy something. But
yeah,
I
no
think
no Wyatt Six stuff. So I don't.
I think they're trying to draw more people into their after storytelling with the interviews and the whatever.
Yeah,
All right, so that's
overall,
going to wrap it up for this
pretty good.
pay-per-view Money in the Bank. So it was okay. It was a good time. So we enjoyed talking about it. We'd love to hear about your feedback, your questions, your suggestions, your arguments. What do you think? So you can drop those in the comments down below or at the email address that's going to show up here at the bottom of the screen. And then just a quick plug for the show. We're going to do this after all the pay-per-views for WWE and AEW as we can fit them in with our time. And then so we'll talk about pay-per-views.
Acknowledge us.
Acknowledge us, yeah. We'll talk about the current storylines, if we think they're working, kind of as we talk about the pay-per-views. And other times we'll go over the dirt sheets in the news. We'll talk about what are we reading in the news. Is it true? Is it not? How's that going to affect the wrestlers, the promotions, etc.? If we're lucky, maybe we'll have somebody on, a guest interview sometimes. And then the other thing we might do occasionally is review some classic matches. I've got a list of them, and we'll pull them up on YouTube or a video and watch them and rank them as well for fun. So that's kind of the things we're thinking about doing with this podcast, but mostly just get together, hang out with my brother because I don't get to see him as often as I like, and hang out, watch wrestling, which we both like wrestling, and then just talk about it. And then I get to do all this fun creative stuff like make podcasts and put it on YouTube and do stuff like that. And maybe we'll get rich someday and not have to work at our regular jobs. So that's all for the wrestling today. Hope you enjoyed Money in the Bank. We will catch you guys on the next one.
We'll see you later.
Later.